The number one way for you to actually increase the profitability of your farm operation may not be actually what you think. You see, in order to increase the farm's income, we need to take a deeper look inside of the operation, specifically dive deeper into the finances. Now, over the years, we've had hundreds of family farm operations come into Legacy Farmer looking to solve one massive problem inside of their operation, and that is the disorganization and chaos they have been living and operating with every single day inside of their operation. Now, they know that they don't have the clarity that they need, and they know that money is just slipping through the cracks inside of their operation. That's why they came in. They wanted to go from a place of disorganization and chaos to a place of financial confidence and clarity. But in that process, though, there's one big thing that we discovered over the years of working with these operations, and that is the profitability or income that you're looking for inside of your operation is not going to be found first by adding on additional things. It's actually found by subtracting things out. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of people inside of the ag industry, we always want to grow and expand, right? But one habit or pattern that a lot of operators have gotten into in this country is that in order to make payments, they just need to add more revenue. But the thing is they're adding more revenue when the foundation of the operation wouldn't actually allow them to do that, right? They don't have the manpower, they don't have the equipment. So when you just want to take on and add on additional 2,500 acres because you need to make this new loan payment or something like that, a lot of times we forget about the additional equipment now that we're going to need. And one purchase oftentimes turns into 5 to 6 to 7 smaller purchases in order just to accomplish that one new source of revenue. Now, obviously, doing this time and time again is going to cause massive problems inside of your operation. And that's why when we have new customers coming to Legacy Farmer, our viewpoint isn't on what can we add to the operation. Our first viewpoint is what can we actually subtract out and where can we save money? And the reason I bring this up is because once we get financial clarity and get some structure and organization in the numbers, we find that most times operations are easily bleeding hundreds of thousands of dollars just slipping through the cracks inside their operation because they're not tracking things very well financially. But then also on top of that, we start to look at different things that we can subtract or remove from the operation. So for example, the way that we do this is that we get every business broken out and structured and organized financially in its own way. That way we can look at each individual source of income that you have in your operation and see where you're bleeding money, aka wasting your time, right? One of the biggest KPIs that you need to worry about inside your operation is your return on your time. And a lot of people, from what we found out over the years, is they are actually wasting their time and spending a majority of their time in one business inside of their operation that is actually costing them the most money and bleeding the most money, when really their time should be spent on the other businesses that are proving to generate all the cash flow and all the profitability inside of their operation. So at the end of the day, my friends, the answer you're looking for is not in adding things. Maybe we do that later, but in the beginning, we need to be looking at what we can stop doing inside of the operation, and that is the quickest way to find income that may have just been slipping through the cracks. Now, I know this may not have been the answer you were wanting or expecting when you clicked on this video, but the reality is the more you try to add on to your operation when you don't have a solid foundation in place to support that growth, the harder your life is going to become. In fact, you should never even be looking at adding anything to your operation until you have mastered your finances and located all the bleeders inside your operation that are costing operators tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. And so one part of my message and what you'll see in a lot of my videos is I always talk about adding in side sources of income that run alongside the farm operation. Now, before we do that, my friends, a lot of you may think that that's just the first thing we're pushing people to do inside of Legacy Farmer when they first come in. That's not even close to what the facts are. The first thing that we're doing is getting that structure and organization of finding those bleeders inside of the operation and seeing if the operation can survive if we just fix what's currently not working, right? We want to dive into those things first and start to pinpoint some of those bleeders here. And then, and only then, do we start looking at additional sources of revenue. But we have to really get a hold of the current operation and really ensure that what you're currently doing, even after we get it financially structured and organized, is not going to work or support the operation that you want to build. And then and only then do we start looking at adding on these additional sources of income in order to generate the revenue and profitability that you want inside your operation. But we want to do it the right way, right? We want to make sure that, hey, before we even do that, we're adding in the pieces that we need inside of the operation and solidifying the foundation. That way, when you do push for this growth, you're not building it on a shaky foundation that will inevitably fall once the operation gets too big. We want to have a solid foundation and be sound and strategic in every financial decision and every growth decision that we're making inside of the operation. This is not a game, right? This is your life, and it deserves this level of respect and strategy here, and really just thoughtful thinking in every decision that you're making inside of the operation. And this is why we exist here at Legacy Farmer. We help our customers, and have proven to do this with hundreds of family farm operations over the years, go from a place of disorganization and chaos financially to a place of financial confidence and clarity. And once we do that, we clean things up, we get clarity, we plug the holes, we find the bleeders inside of the operation, and then we can start looking at expanding. But now we're expanding from a place of confidence and strategy going forward. And as a business owner, I can promise you that the future of your operation, once you get this foundation and you know your numbers at a deep level, that future that you want to create is, one, it's within your grasp, but two, it's going to be drastically different. And you are going to set yourself up for so much more success than you ever thought possible by simply doing these things, exposing the problems that you're currently dealing with, and then having the courage to solve them and ask for help, master the numbers, and man, it's just crazy what your operation could turn into one day. So my friends, if you want to learn more about how we've helped hundreds of family farm operations across the country go from a place of financial chaos and disorganization to a place of financial confidence and clarity and build the operations that they want to be able to leave to their family one day, click the link below to learn more right now.